What's your name?
David Kaiser. Kaiser. Yeah.
On the site?
Yeah.
On the site every day?
Yeah.
So, what's your take on the game? Obviously, it's a huge roller coaster game. Just walk me through your emotions the entire game.
Gonna be honest, I didn't remember the first half.
One of those?
Yeah, one of those games. First game with my mom, but second half, I thought we'd pull it out. Wait in line at the trough, talking with some guys. Thought we'd pull it off. I thought we'd beat the spread. We didn't, but still won the game. So
Yeah, and I mean, what are you thinking when that ball hits the turf, the fumble with like 5 minutes left to go?
Oh man, it was hugging my mom for sure. It was high-fiving everybody around me. It was
there for you?
Yeah, that's why my mom's there. That's what moms are for. Yeah. So it was 100% joy at that point.
And then obviously they got the blocked punt, and JT Barrett led the team down the field twice. Not once, twice. What's your take on JT Barrett's performance?
He's been questioned a lot. He's been thrown through the fire. I've questioned JT for sure, and everybody has, but you got to stand by the guy. He's a fifth-year senior. He's the captain of the team. You've seen the hype videos. You've seen his locker room speeches. He's the guy. People have been calling for Dwayne Haskins, and he might be the guy of the future, but JT's the guy right now, and he's the guy who will win us these games. He's the guy who's probably going to lead us to the playoffs at this point. The block punt, big. It was maybe our first block punt since 2014.
It's been a while, yeah.
It's been a while. And we put our best athletes on that team, so we expect block punts, and we expect them in big games, and they showed up. So
yeah, when they needed it most.
When they showed up, when we needed them the most, they showed up.
Yeah,
like Urban says.
So. And huge night for JT, like you alluded to. You think he's catapulted himself into the Heisman talk?
He for sure has. Baker might have better stats, and he might have beaten us, but JT's at before this game, he's at 72%, right? Something like that. So I don't know what his stats were this game.
Like 33 for 39 with 350
That's
yards.
pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. Yeah. So he might be up there. He might get the invite to New York, but at that point, it doesn't matter. I don't know. He knows it doesn't matter. Yeah. It's all about if you walk away with a ring at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So
you think this team's equipped to do that?
I think so. We're one of the few teams in the country who can beat Bama. We want Bama.
You want Bama?
We want Bama, baby.
And then, we got the first look at the gray unis today. What's your take on those? Buckeye Nation's kind of split on those.
Yeah, for sure. I was on the side of they're not that great when they first came out, and I got a lot of hate from my boys for hating on them. But I'm the Bucks guy, and I know they're great. Once the helmets came out, they were unreal. The helmets make the jerseys. The cleats make the jerseys for sure. I'm excited to see if we pull out all whites against Michigan. Against Scum. Yeah, they could be really good. I think I'd probably buy one right off the rack for sure. So yeah,
kind of like the old cocaine whites that they wore.
The cocaine whites are sweet. I bought the blacks right off the rack. Yeah. First one in the store. So we'll see if the all whites pull out for us. So.
Yeah, and we know their answer, but is Penn State Ohio State's rival? I mean, obviously you don't want to diminish Michigan, but are they a rival?
Not a chance. not a chance. They might think it. They can take Rutgers or Maryland if they want to, but Michigan's our rival. Scum is our rival. If anything, Illinois is our second place, but
Illinois, you're putting Illinois over Penn State?
There's a trophy. There's a trophy involved at that point.
Roller coaster ride of a game. Just give me your first thoughts.
The refs tried to steal it from us, but we was loud. We was lit. I knew that we were going to pull through in the fourth quarter. That's just how we do.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State fumbled with 5 minutes left in the game. What are you thinking at that point?
Man, I thought defense needs to make a stop or we're screwed. So I said, if we're a championship D, if Nick Bosa, Tyquan Lewis, Robert Landers, if they're sweet, they got to show it right here.
And they did. What's your take on that?
Bananas, nuts, bro. I went bonkers. Insane.
And JT Barrett had himself a game too. He had 350 passing yards. Did he just punch a ticket to New York? Is he a Heisman contender?
Okay, well, here's my message to Buckeye Nation right now. JT Barrett is not the problem, bro. JT Barrett is a great quarterback. Just because he has some touch problems, dude, JT Barrett is a great quarterback, and without him, we wouldn't have won.
Roller coaster ride of a game. Just give me your first thoughts.
The refs tried to steal it from us, but we was loud. We was lit. I knew that we were going to pull through in the fourth quarter. That's just how we do.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State fumbled with 5 minutes left in the game. What are you thinking at that point?
Man, I thought like defense needs to make a stop or we're screwed. So I said, if we're a championship D, if Nick Bosa, Tyquan Lewis, Robert Landers, if they're sweet, they got to show it right here.
And they did. What's your take on that?
Bananas, nuts, bro. I went bonkers. Insane.
And JT Barrett had himself a game too. He had like 350 passing yards. Did he just punch a ticket to New York? Is he a Heisman contender?
Okay, well, here's my message to Buckeye Nation right now. JT Barrett is not the problem, bro. JT Barrett is a great quarterback. Just because he has some touch problems, dude, JT Barrett is a great quarterback, and without him, we wouldn't have won all those games last year, Wisconsin, Michigan, and he won us this game this year too. So quit hating on JT. He's not the issue.
And rest of the team too. It was a whole unit effort. You think this team can compete for a national title?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's Bama, us, and maybe one more. But if we play to our potential, don't make mistakes, then we good.
Yeah, and Penn State's played Ohio State tough for the past couple years.
Yep.
And I know their answer if we ask them, but is Penn State Ohio State's rival? Obviously don't want to diminish Michigan, but would you consider Penn State a rival?
No. We are Ohio State. Penn State is no one.
And then what's your take on the uniforms? The all grays, you like those?
They were crispy. They were icy. I liked it. I heard we have all whites for Michigan, so I'm excited to see those. But I like the national championship unis with the black numbers.
You like those?
I think those are nice.
I don't even know if I can put this one into words.
We just kept fighting, kept believing. We were only down 13. We weren't out of the game. I mean, we had a lot of penalties, a lot of turnovers. We overcome our own adversity. We fought. I never lost faith in this team. So many have. JT Barrett, really, that's why he's the leader, the intangibles. Everybody gave him so much crap all season. I know it wasn't a perfect game. I get it, we had to come back, but, sometimes championship runs and Big Ten titles, you got to have games like this, and you got to prove it. We did.
Yeah, I mean, he led 2 drives after, 2 touchdown drives after a big fumble. But what do you make of this, JT Barrett's performance? Do you think this catapults him into the Heisman talk?
I mean, it's right up there. I mean, a lot of why we're in trouble as a team, though, was the special teams and turnovers and penalties. When JT's on. He's hard to defeat. When he's just been inconsistent and he's had to overcome so much. And, I mean, that right there is a Heisman moment. Now, we got 4 of the games left to play. But we're going to enjoy this one, and then we're going to go to this. This is my saying, and I took this from Lee Corso. The next 4 games, the games you remember, are played in November. You win out, we're going to Indianapolis.
And, I mean, do you feel good about this team, Indianapolis and past that? Do you think this team can win a national title?
If we keep believing and keep grinding, anything is possible. I think we can at least win the Big Ten. I think we at least have that if we keep doing what we're doing. You cannot lose faith in what we've done. We've grown in each and every game. Sometimes it's not pretty, but a lot of our national titles that we've won in school history, they're not pretty. They're gritty. That's just who we are. We're Ohio.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people were saying before this game, this was kind of the game. Michigan's been sputtering. Michigan State's kind of, they might have lost to Northwestern today. I don't know. But do you agree with that, or do you think there's still a lot more that this team has to prove?
We're Ohio State. We always have something to prove. Nobody ever gives us credit. It's just the way it is. I mean, you always have something to prove when you step between the white lines on every Saturday afternoon, every time.
And I mean, there are a couple of special teams blunders. The kick especially. What's going through your mind as those are happening?
The kickoff return in particular, it was early in the game, so I wasn't losing my mind. I was just more kind of 1, why'd you kick it to him, and 2, why'd you kick it in the corner? Because you out-kicked your coverage. It didn't work out, and then from there, you can tell they were squib kicking and adjusting. I think Nuremberger, he's an okay kicker. He's not a kicker that kicks out of the end zone consistently, and that kind of hurts our field position. But other than that, Barkley only had that in 1 other run, and we kind of kept him in check. But the special teams and the penalties got to stop. And the best part is we turned it over, twice, 3 times, and still won. Yeah. And Penn State didn't turn over hardly at all. And usually Penn State turns it over once every game. That didn't happen for them. That's kind of odd, but the game's weird. The ball bounces funny. It bounced in our favor tonight.
Is this one of your best Ohio State memories?
It's a darn good one. Roller coaster ride, I think it's a very accurate description. I think JT Barrett, proved to Ohio State Nation tonight that if he finishes the season off right, he's a Heisman Trophy type quarterback, plain and simple. All the hate towards him needs to stop. I think the field goal in the first quarter, we went for it on 4th and 8. We should have kicked the field goal there. I think that
those points.
I would love to have those points.
Yeah.
You got to take the points, you get a chance to get them. But obviously Urban's one heck of a coach. And at the end of the day, when you talk about officiating, you can't take away a turnover and give a team 7 points. I think that was garbage. But this team has character. They found a way. And at the end of the day, that's what fighters do. They find a way. And this team's true. They have a lot of fight in them, and they found a way to get the job done.
You mentioned you're a high school coach. What do you think about this defensive, kind of scheme away Saquon Barkley? He didn't really have a huge game aside from the kickoff return.
Obviously, the opening kickoff return was a gigantic part of the game. But did he even have 10 yards rushing? Did he? If he did, it's a surprise to me. So that's hats off to Greg Schiano and obviously the kids that are on the field. The D-line was unbelievable. Linebackers did a great job, scraping off of them, filling and making tackles in the open field. So from a defensive standpoint, you can't ask for much more than that. You really can't. So they did a great job. I think you take away a couple crucial officiating calls and a couple crucial coaching decisions, and I think Ohio State controls the game. But hats off to JT Barrett and the offense. They found a way to get it done, and that's what fighters do. Yeah,
a couple turnovers too. What'd you make of that? Is that just not something you can really fix? It's just kind of a freak thing?
Yeah, the turnovers, the one on the handoff is. That's tough. That's tough. When you run a read option offense, you do some things like some of those things are going to happen every now and again. Yep. You just can't churn it over in games like this. But at the end of the day, he found a way to make plays and he got the job done. And you can't ask for any more than a leader and a young man that's been set every Big Ten record, every Ohio State record. All that good stuff's great. But he found a way to win. He's a winner.
Yeah, what more could you want from JT Barrett at this point? You think you mentioned it earlier, you think he's punched his ticket to New York? He's a Heisman contender at this point?
At this point in time, absolutely. Obviously, he's got to finish the year off right. He goes out and has a great November. When championships are won and when titles are decided, then I think he's the front runner. Yeah. I don't think he's punched his ticket. I think he's the front runner. You look at his stats, you look at his numbers, you look at the kid's a winner. He had his Heisman moment in the 4th quarter with under 5 minutes left in this stadium. That's a Heisman campaign moment right there.
Tell me your names.
Jim Ramsey.
Daniel Ramsey.
Okay, what'd you guys think about the game?
Well, we were both talking that even with last year's overtime Michigan game, this is tops.
Yeah.
This is the top game.
Especially, we went out, win the Big Ten, go on. It's probably better than Michigan game. It's phenomenal.
Do you think this team can win a national title? You're talking about winning the Big Ten.
No doubt about it. The way that defense is playing, JT's throwing the ball well. There's no doubt about it. We can win it all.
The Ohio State fumble was like 5 minutes left to play. What's going through your head?
Oh, I just had an EKG and luckily I passed it because that would have killed me.
And then
I ain't gonna lie, I got to work in the mornings. I was thinking about heading home. That fumble, I didn't think we had a chance after that fumble. It looked bad, but it's Ohio State football.
What does that say about this team and JT Barrett to just lead 2 drives like that after such a deflating turnover?
Well, I was honestly, I ducked you the last 2 games that were here because I couldn't fathom JT coming together like he did, but he just won a Heisman. I think he's the Heisman guy.
You think he won the Heisman with this performance?
I think he has to. He led a team against all odds, the special teams disasters, and JT hung in there, the line hung in there, and the defense is without a doubt unbelievable. Everybody they plug in, who has people that we can keep plugging in? We never get, and the refs tried to take everything away from us.
Yeah, what'd you guys think about some of those calls?
Terrible. That was, I don't like to blame officials. It's, the game's played on the field, but there were some very bad calls in my opinion, but we overcame it and we won,
What's your name?
Jackie Ulmer.
All right, what'd you think about the game?
The game was absolutely awesome. We won. I don't know if you were there. You totally were. No, it was such an awesome game. We got to rush the field and there's just nothing better than a close game that you were losing the whole time and coming back and getting to win.
Are you a student?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
What year?
I'm a senior.
Okay, so you've been here a while. Is this your favorite Horseshoe memory?
No, this is not my favorite Horseshoe memory. Last year when we beat Michigan, Michigan still sucks. That's definitely our favorite memory.
It's hard to top that one.
Yeah.
And I mean, this game looked like, you know, it wasn't going to go Ohio State's way. What were you thinking when Ohio State fumbled with like 5 minutes left and it kind of looked like Ohio State was going to lose?
Honestly, I turned to my friend Rachel and I was like, we're going to win this quarter. We just have to win this quarter. And I never lost faith in our Buckeyes. I knew they were going to win.
And they pulled it out. So what do you think about going forward? You think this team can win a national title?
I think we have the potential. I think that we need to use all these games that have been so close as a learning experience to propel us forward towards a national title, which I know we can do.
Cool. Well, thank you guys. What do you think about the uniforms? I forgot to ask about that. The all grays?
I wasn't a big fan of the all gray uniforms, but the all red shoes with like the platinum bottoms, we really liked those.